Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. It's the 1970. Bobby Womack is standing. The focal point of the audience is his voice spilling out torment, love, and recovery. In each note, he's on top of the world, lauded by legends, a hit creator by his own doing, and a man whose ability helped shape the sound of soul music. However, as the years moved on, his own life was shaken by shock, selling out, and monetary ruin. In the present video, we will bring a profound jump into the uncommon existence of Bobby Womack, investigating the ups and downs of his profession, the sumptuous homes that repeated his prosperity, and the stunning monetary inconveniences that tormented him even in his last days. How did possibly one of soul's most notable voices wind up confronting liquidation? What was Bobby W's actual net worth at the hour of his passing? Stick around as we reveal the untold story behind the music legend Bobby Womack, an incredible American vocalist, lyricist, and performer who left a critical heritage in the realm of music. Yet, his monetary circumstance at that point of his passing in 2014 told an alternate story, regardless of a decades-long vocation that started in the early 1960s. WA's total assets were assessed at just $250,000 when he died. His monetary difficulties were compounded by a gigantic obligation, including $250,000 in neglected child support owed to his two children in India, one of whom was as yet a teen. While the other was a grown-up court archives recorded by his widow Regina uncovered that Womack had practically nothing to abandon for people in the future, with just $52,000 in real money, and not exactly $88,000 in material belongings at the season of his passing. The worth of these eminences anyway relied upon the continuous public interest in his work, leaving what's to come. Monetary security of his family is attached to the getting-through allure of his music. Bobby Womack, brought into the world on Spring 4, 1944, in Cleveland's Fairfax area, experienced childhood in neediness close by his four siblings, Cordial Jr. Curtis, Harry, and furthermore, Sile, raised by Naomi and Amicable Womack. Bobby's life as a youngster was set apart by difficulty. The family was so unfortunate they frequently rummaged for food, turning to pulling pig noses from general store garbage. Bobby imparted a bed to his siblings, and notwithstanding the intense conditions, his mom supported him by saying he could sing right out of the ghettos. His dad, a steel specialist, part-time minister, and artist, cautioned his children not to contact his guitar, but rather Bobby. Furthermore, his siblings, every now and again, opposed this rule. One night, at age 8, Bobby broke a string and also attempted to conceal the harm by supplanting it with a shoestring rather than rebuffing him. His dad gave Bobby the opportunity to play for him, in the end purchasing guitars for every one of his children. Bobby, a left-handed player, adjusted by flipping the guitar topsy-turvy. Uninformed, he could ring it. The siblings shaped a gospel bunch, the Womack siblings, performing at neighborhood houses of worship. In any event, remaining on boxes to arrive at the receivers, their large break came in 1956 when their dad set up for them to open for the Spirit Stirrers, driven by Sam Cooke, who turned into their guide, making a difference, them visiting, and at last directing them to shift from gospel to soul music. In 1961, they changed their name to the Valentinos and endorsed with Cooke's Records. The gathering made progress in 1962 with Searching for an Affection, a reworked gospel melody 2 years after the fact Bobby and his sister by marriage, Shirley Womack, wrote. It's However All Over Now, which turned into a hit. It was immediately eclipsed by a cover from the Drifters. Misfortune struck at the point when Sam Cooke was dead in 1964, making the Valentinos disband also. Say Our Records shut Bobby endeavored a performance profession delivering singles with Him Records and Chess Records, yet Riley endeavors fizzled, moving to Memphis. He played guitar on notorious accounts like Aretha Franklin's Woman Soul and Dusty Springfield's Dusty. Furthermore, Memphis he additionally worked with Beam Charles and turned into a vital colleague with Wilson Pickett, adding to hits, for example, I'm a 12 p.m. mover by 1968. In the wake of marking with Minute Records, Bobby made progress, covering Barry McGuire's California Dreaming by 1972. In the wake of changing to Joint Craftsman, he arrived at new levels with the Collection Correspondence, which incorporated his first top 40 hit. That is the manner in which I feel about Chow. This track set his status in both the R&B and pop outlines, peaking at number 2 on the R&B outline and breaking into the Billboard Hot 100. Following this, Womack delivered 2 more collections in 1972 with Understanding, making a huge effect. One of the champion tracks from this collection was I Can Comprehend It, which exhibited W's one-of-kind capacity to initially mix kinds composed as a down-home melody by Jim Passage. Womack remixed it into a smooth, deep R&B track. This type of blending approach featured his imaginative style, which would keep on forming his profession among W's initial L triumphs. Harry Hipster became a pivotal occasion, procuring him his first gold-guaranteed single. The melody, a heartfelt recognition for his sibling, reverberated profoundly with crowds, both for its message and for its dazzling tune. One more track from that period, Lady Has to Have It. It became Womack's most memorable #1 hit on the R&B charts, hardening his place as a main voice in soul music. W's energy conveyed into 1974 when he re-delivered a prior hit, Searching for an Adoration, a tune that would become one of his best singles. The track arrived at #1 on the R&B charts and, surprisingly, moved to number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it his most elevated charting single on the pop charts. This achievement denoted a top in Womack's vocation, displaying his capacity to interest both R&B and standard crowds. In spite of a more slow period in the late 70s, Womack got back in the game in the early 1980s. In 1981, in the wake of marking with Beverly Glen Records, he accomplished his first top 10 R&B hit in quite a while with If You Believe You're Forlorn. Now this track, which arrived at number 3 on the R&B charts, turned into an exemplary, further solidifying his inheritance. The progress of the Going With collection, the artist who bested the R&B collection's diagram, denoted a high point in W's vocation. It acquired him boundless praise, not just in the US, but additionally across Europe, growing his impact to a worldwide crowd. As Wix's performance vocation dialed back later in 1994, his energy for music won't ever falter. In 2012, he delivered another collection, The Most Daring Man in the Universe, through XL accounts created by Damon Albarn and Richard Russell. The collection addressed a new section in W's profession. The first single, Kindly Excuse My Heart, was made accessible for a free download, offering fans a brief look at his developing sound. The collection drew acclaim for its imaginative mix of current and exemplary components, demonstrating that W's melodic abilities had not lessened with time. In the last years of his life, Womack kept on chipping away at new projects. Reports arose that he was teaming up with enormous names like Stevie Wonder, Sneak Canine, and Bar Stewart on a blues collection at first named Living in the Place of Blues. Anyway, in a meeting with Womack, it was uncovered that the collection would be renamed The Best Is on the Way and would include coordinated efforts with specialists like Tina Marie and Ronnie Isley. Indeed, even in his later years, Womack remained committed to his art, continually pushing the limits of his music. Deserted house in Syracuse, New York, Bobby Womack, the amazing soul artist and musician, had a profound association with a few spots during his life, one of which was Tarzana, California, where he lived until his passing in 2014. Anyway, what's less popular is that Womack likewise possessed a house in Syracuse, New York. This 3-room 2-shower home offers a brief look into the mysterious side of Womack's life, as it has remained to a great extent immaculate, and in a condition of deterioration for a long time. The Syracuse home is humbled by current guidelines, however was reasonable a huge speculation for whack at the hour of procurement. The house incorporates a conventional lounge area and a front room highlighting a chimney that reasonable added warmth and character to the space. Worked in furniture and extraordinary RE component of homes from prior periods still enhances the rooms, bringing out a feeling of history. It's trusted that when Wick first bought the property, he planned to re-establish it to its previous brilliance, yet oddly enough, this vision was never rejuvenated even after his passing in 2014. The Syracuse home remaining parts in the same condition, immaculate, and left in its unique express. The house remains as an image of W's unfulfilled plans covered in secret, while a considerable lot of his fans And admirers know him for his melodic inheritance. This failed-to-remember property offers a calmer, more perplexing section in the existence of the one who gave the world to such an extent through his specialty, the A's ignored state adds to its interest, passing on numerous to can't help thinking about what could have been in the event that Womack had finished his remodel plans. Generosity. Bobby W.'s heritage broadens a long way past his melodic commitments, venturing into a few magnanimous tries altogether. Through his life, despite the fact that he may not be as commonly known for his charitable endeavors as some other famous people, WSC was dedicated to causes focused on well-being, music, schooling, and supporting hindered networks. In 1992, WSC coordinated a series of recognition shows for his nearby companion Eddie Kendricks, an establishing part of the enticement. Kendricks, who was fighting cellular breakdown in the lungs, kicked the bucket on October 5, 1992.